Hello, hello.
Hey.
Hey, Chris, how you doing?
Feeling the nerves of joining a new session, but good otherwise. How are you?
Oh, doing all right. Doing all right. I saw that you sent a token, so I'm going to grab that out of the Discord and put that in the... Okay, so we're going to save that.
I've always filled out my character sheets manually, so it's my first time using the what you call it. So I'm not sure if I missed anything or whatnot. I know the one thing I'm missing is my health because I wasn't sure what you guys did.
Okay, yeah, you get max hit points, which includes your con bonus at first level, and then we're just doing the average. So depending on your class, it's whatever that average is plus your con bonus.
Sounds good.
Yeah, and this is essentials, so I'll tell you the same thing I told the other another player that asked about it. This particular game, which is kind of the pre-game, if you will, almost like the pre-season, just letting the players get to know each other. This game goes up to 6th level, so the marginal utility on multi-class may or may not give you enough levels to feel like it's worth it. But when we get into the main homebrew campaign with more flexible characters, then multi-class is going to be okay. But it's up to you, because there's nothing that specifically says it's disallowed, but any multi-class has to fall within the same classes and subclasses.
Got it. The only reason I ask, I'm not trying to metagame. It's just a lot of my characters, when I come up with backgrounds, like it's a merger of two classes.
Sure.
So it just makes sense. Like, I don't know. Maybe you know the concept of this character by just the sheep, but he's kind of a mix of a rogue and a fighter.
Yeah. Yeah, and my favorite trick in 5e, if I'm going to play anything that's multi-class, I always start with a level in rogue, because you get those extra skill slots at first level in rogue that you don't get in any other class. And then that just, depending on whatever you're going to move into, that gives you a little more versatility in terms of the skills that you can apply your proficiency bonus to later on.
Yeah, usually I set a foundation of fighter just because RP wise, like most people can learn how to swing a sword.
Yeah.
Can learn like. Yeah.
All right, so now I need to upload. Choose the file. And this is going to be...
So how far along are you guys in this current campaign?
Well, there's 3 characters that as of last week hit level 4. There's, I think, 2 characters that are level 3. Actually, I should say 1 character who's level 3. Then I'm expecting 2 new people to join tonight, yourself and Ivy. And it looks like she's on the Roll20 already. And I asked both of you to start at level 3. So it's a mix of level 3 and level 4. I didn't want to start you guys too far behind because it just makes balancing the encounters a little easier.
Yeah, I get it.
I also discovered as we were playing through this game, I discovered that their tuning of some of the missions is a little bit off. They give you 3 starter missions, and of course the one starter mission that sounds like it's the easiest to do is actually the one that's the toughest to do. And so I had to kind of detune that to keep from having a TPK against a first level party. And so I think if I ever run this again, I'm going to move that away from being one of the starter missions and not give that to people until they've added a couple of levels. Because it's like asking a first level party to go up against a manticore, which gets 3 ranged attacks every round.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you're not really experienced with the game and you're not familiar with the classes that are available, yeah, I can see how it can be a bit.
Yeah.
I was really interested or curious or kind of dumbfounded some of the classes that weren't into the mix. Like there was no ranger, so they force you to take a rogue or fighter for a ranged class. It's interesting.
Yeah, well, we have the wizard, so the wizard, of course, range spells. But you're right, in terms of weapon attacks, you're pretty much left with the rogue and the fighter as the only ones who.
Yeah, and I think most new players, when they think of rogue and fighter, they would, if they're looking to play that class, are probably thinking melee.
Probably. Yeah, let me see. We have. Hey, Mike. I see your. Oh, well, Mike can't hear me because he's deafened himself. That's fine.
Off the top of your head, D10 average, is that 6? Or should I research?
Okay, D10. It is. Let me just double check that.
I can check if you're busy doing something else.
Yeah, just pulling this one up and then.
Let's see, 6.
Yep. So 6, and then if you have a con bonus.
6 plus con, and you said level 3, right?
Yes.
Cool.
Which reminds me, let me look at your character sheet and just see if everything looks copacetic here. It probably is. Eldrin.
Hey, don't say that name. You know me as L.
L, okay. Alright, L. Hello.
Hello.
Ah. Ivy.
Huh?
I take it. Alright.
Yes.
Welcome to our game.
Thank you.
Alright. In terms of L. Yep. Everything. Yep. That looks about right. Let me just double check. Yeah, okay, good.
The only thing I noticed was off was the gold or the coin. It didn't automatically add that for me. I didn't know if it was tucked away in the coin purse from my background or if I need to add that to the...
Yeah, you need to add that to the thing where... because it should show the coin in your in that inventory area there.
Yeah, I noticed it just put Dungeoneer's pack, so it didn't expand all the items in the Dungeoneer's pack. So I probably need to add those as well as my coin. The only other question other than that I have, are you guys running just max carrying capacity? Are you doing the can't think of the term for it, but
Encumbrance.
encumbrance?
In this game, I don't know that it really matters. I would say just keep track of how much weight you're carrying, just so nobody's like doing something obscene, like trying to carry around 500 pounds worth of stuff. But
just don't exceed max.
Shh, don't tell my secret.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have that kind of player. All right, let's see what we're. Okay, and double check. Yeah, and Ivy, it looks like it didn't give you
Mute striking gold either.
Yeah, unless you spend it all on stuff.
No.
Okay.
That was my other question. I have a shitload of. I'm sorry, I have a lot of gear that I'm not using. Can I sell that for half price, or how does that work?
Yeah, when we get to town, you guys can sell that. Now, Ivy and Chris, I'm glad both of you are here a little early. The situation we have right now, the party is out at a remote area called Nomengard, and they finished up the main thing last week, and I'm expecting, best laid plans of mice and men, I'm expecting that they will finish up what they're doing there relatively quickly and come on back to town. If we start getting to and then just introduce you to them there. If we start getting to 8:30 and they're still screwing around over there, then I'll just, you guys ride up at Nomengard, because somebody told you that the other adventurers were out that way, and then I'll have you join up with the party then. But
I just want to say, I don't know about her, but on my side, I completely do not want to interrupt the session. I'd be happy running it as it goes. If it comes to where I can join up, cool. If not, at the end of the session, maybe do a little scene. But I don't want you to have to go out of your way to introduce me.
Oh no, I think we're all good. There's pretty much all the blood, sweat, and tears got accomplished last week. It's just a matter of now cleaning up the details. Hey Vernon, how you doing?
Good God, hello.
Here's the Vernon.
Oh, hi. You're already talking Ivy language too, I'm assuming.
Huh?
That's Ivy has at least 3 different ways of speaking. The ones he uses most often.
Okay.
You mean my normal voice?
Yeah, that's the one, right? The normal voice. I'm from Brooklyn, but I'm not.
Oh, fuck you. Wait, am I allowed to curse?
It's the internet.
I'll try and shush.
You are streaming this on Twitch or no?
Yeah, it's on Twitch, but it's And speaking of Twitch, hello.
If you throw your channel out, I'll throw you a follow and I'll watch every session. So.
Oh, okay, yeah. Let me grab the link.
Help your viewer count out a bit.
Drop it into the Discord. Okay. Yeah, I have I use 2 different computers to run the game. I run everything. Oh man, now. So that's the one thing about the jukebox on Roll20 is that you set all of the sound levels at what looks like the same, but they're not all the same. Okay, I'm going to turn that one down a little bit because that's a little bit loud. Okay. Yeah. I run all the game off of my laptop, and I put the DM view on my laptop and everything, and then I run Twitch off of my desktop so that I can show the player view of the map over there. And so that I'm running so on the stream is the player view, just because of the fact that I thought somewhere along the line, oh, you know what? I may have one of those players that likes to put the stream up on a second screen while they're playing, and if I'm showing the DM view, then they're like, "Hey guys, watch out! There's something behind that boulder."
Yeah, you gotta watch out for that. I always open up stream. I've had a DM that did the same thing before. I always have the stream open in the background, minimized, just to help out viewer counts. But yeah, you gotta watch out for that metagame.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you can't even help it; it just happens. You just look.
Oh yeah. Well, the good news is, Chris, I can hear you fine. Ivy, I can hear you fine. Can you guys hear me okay?
Perfect.
Nope,
Okay.
can't hear you at all.
What? Well, and
Don't let me. I can't hear you.
I attacked the troll.
Well, for once, someone that can actually hear me right without adjusting my volumes.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I think you might be helped a little bit in that area.
So how much gold should I add to my character sheet on starting amount?
I think it's like, I was gonna say, you guys are 3rd level. Both of you add 30 gold. No, both of you add 300 gold.
300?
Rich, let's just run away.
100 gold per level.
Rich?
Oh, Vern, did I mention to you, because I put it in my notes, and my notes didn't tell me whether I had mentioned it to you during the game or not, that you would get inspiration for recruiting a player to the game?
Oh, okay. I can
So
check the
if
notes.
if you don't have inspiration on your character sheet, go ahead and give yourself inspiration.
Well, no, I never gave that a second thought. But I figured this is a good game for the player and a good player for the game, so that's why I did that.
Oh no, but that's,
Aw.
you're going above and beyond, so that's always feels like you should.
I promise I'll keep my same amount of annoyingness.
Hello. So it looks like we've got, okay, Mike.
Yeah,
There
hey.
you go. Yeah, Mike, we can hear you fine, but it sounds like you're sitting across the room from your microphone.
I'm not on my computer. I'm using my phone at the moment. My computer
Oh,
is
okay.
plugged up. I'm downstairs at the moment.
Oh, okay, all right.
But at the
no,
moment.
my headset's plugged up at the computer. I'm just using my phone temporarily for a minute while I finish my
Oh,
my
okay.
nicotine break.
No problem. And then we're getting close to that time. Alrighty. Okay, hello everyone. This is DM Gallibond. It's Thursday night. It's 8 p.m. That must mean it's time for the Dragon of Icespire Peak. And tonight, I am joined by Vernon, reprising his role as Finn, by Michael, reprising his role as Dorzaphir. And we have a couple of new players with us as well. We have Ivy and we have Chris. Ivy, I think I'm going to do this a little bit later because I'm expecting that a couple of our other players will pop in before too long. So I'll have you do the full introductions. Both of you do the full introductions once everybody else is here. But both of them are debuting characters that are 3rd level. The idea there is just to keep the party closer in level so that we don't have half the party die on the first shot by the enemy on a new encounter. And we will start with a brief recap of last week. When we last saw our heroes, they were at Nomengard. And Nomengard is this little enclave of these gnomes that make all kinds of wonderful magical toys. And they had a mimic problem. And so the party was able to dispatch the mimic and solve the problem for the king. And as a result of that, they were able to level up. But what we need to do is we need to make sure that we take care of the paperwork, as they say. There was something of a quid pro quo. The party was to help the gnomes with their mimic problem, and the gnomes had offered some assistance with their dragon problem. So, I heard somebody else join.
Yeah, James is here.
Yeah, hey, James. Welcome.
Thank you.
All right. So, James and Michael and Vernon, your characters are sitting there overlooking the corpse of this mimic. What would you all like to do?
Is there anything on the corpse that I can take back with us to Phandalin?
When the mimic dies, it becomes something of an amorphous sort of slug-like creature, except it has this really big mouth and a lot of sharp teeth and this crazy tongue on it. And I think last time I had shared the...
Yeah.
Yeah,
You did.
sure.
You did share a picture.
Yeah. So there
Can
it
I
is.
cut its tongue off?
Well, yeah, between you guys, you all can. Now you do have a wizard who Abinadom, is there any part of this that you think you might want to use for or harvest for some spell components?
Can I do a? I'm gonna have to do some kind of check.
Probably an Arcana check.
Arcana check, right? Okay, let me. I'm still get up here. Oh, horrible. Natural 1.
Oh my goodness.
I have no idea.
Yeah, you have no idea if any of this stuff would be any good. So, yeah, you can take whatever you want, and you guys can figure out what you're going to take as trophy and what you're going to take to do research on later.
What are you looking at there, Ab?
We're looking at a mimic. So we're trying to figure out if there's any components that I can harvest from this ungodly creature. And I can't quite remember what I learned in my studies. I must have missed that day. So I have no idea. But
Can he roll as a bard, or does he need to roll the history for the song?
You can roll as a either Arcana or History, whichever is better for you. See if you remember anything. Oh my goodness!
Probably means to change off this one. Okay, I rolled for the Arcana there.
Yep, 18. That's a great result. Now, you don't recall any stories specifically, like in terms of being used in spell components, but you do know a lot of stories and apocryphal lore about mimics being used in potions like polymorph potions and things like that. Stuff that allows you to change shape. So, maybe if he grabbed a piece of mimic flesh, that might help him with that at some point.
Yeah, let's take it down to the midwife, dude. I want to talk to her anyway.
All right.
Okay.
I give Finn a vial because I have a few vials. I'll just hand him one.
Okay. All right. And so we're taking the tongue as a trophy to hang up above the bar.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody taking any teeth?
Sure. We'll grab a few of those as I rip them out of its maw as I'm cutting its tongue out.
Okay. All right. Mimic tooth necklace or something like that. And then and grab some mimic flesh to possibly be used. Well, as you guys are doing that, those of you that gained mystical effects from the spell casting, those last about an hour and then they go away. So Abinadom, your strange colorful dots that aren't really lesions, but spark with colored light, they fade after a while, and Dorzaphir, your butterfly wings fade after about an hour as well, and that seems to go away, and everybody is pretty excited. A couple of these dwarves, they run off yelling, "They killed the monster! They killed the monster! They killed the monster!" And after a while, whom should you all see coming over to inspect what's going on other than King Nurgle and King Korbaz? And they look at the Korbaz takes a look at this mimic and goes, "Oh, that is absolutely horrible, horrible. Oh." And Nyx is over here saying, "Oh yeah, King. We could probably take some of this skin, and we might be able to use it to camouflage some stuff. We could, I don't think these heroes aren't going to take all of it, so we can take what's left back to the lab, and we can see what we can make out of it." And King Nurgle says, "Ooh, well, that sounds positively horrible, but do whatever you wish with it." And so Korbaz runs over and gives Nurgle a big hug and says, "Oh, I'm so glad the monster's dead. Nothing's going to happen to you." And Nurgle says, yes, dear. And, playing the long-suffering spouse as he has been all this time. And then they say, "Well, and gentlemen," they say, turning to you as adventurers, "I believe we were talking about some items that we might be able to help you with. You were very instrumental in obviously solving our problem with the mimic. Thank you so much. So I think there are some items that we can spare from the royal treasury."
Oh, yes. We should be able to give them some stuff from the royal treasury.
And then he sends a couple of gnomes off to the treasury to get these items. And while he's gone, he says, "Now I know it's nighttime. Oh, it's getting dark outside. You are welcome to be our guests here and stay for the night in rooms that we have prepared for you. Will you be spending the night here with us in Gnomergon?"
What time is it?
It's probably gotten, while you were going around, being led around, searching for everything, it's gotten dark outside. So night has fallen.
I think it would be a good idea.
I concur.
I would also like to take some time to check out their laboratory at some point
Okay.
to see what kind of things they might be working on.
Okay. They will be happy to show that to you, and they'll also be happy to talk to Finn about their idea for enhancing the sound and the visuals for entertainers. And then after a few minutes, a couple of these gnomes return. And let's see. We have Anverth and Panana. So Anverth and Panana, they return, and they are carrying a large chest between them. Actually, they're not carrying it. They're walking about 5 feet apart, and the chest is floating in the air in between them. And and one of them has those multicolored spots all over him, like Abinadom had.
Hey, I like your spots.
Ooh, yes, they're fun. And so they set the chest down, and they open it up, and they pull some items out from inside. Let's see. There are 4 items that they pull out of the chest. The first is a clockwork amulet. And there's actually handouts for these here. So let me find those. The clockwork amulet is a copper amulet that contains tiny interlocking gears and is powered by magic from Mechanus, a plane of clockwork predictability. A creature that puts an ear to the amulet can hear faint ticking and whirring noises coming from within. And when you make an attack roll while wearing the amulet, you can forego rolling the d20 and get a 10 on the die instead. And once used, this property can't be used again until the next dawn. So basically, it gives you a free 10 on one attack per day, per game day. It's a common magic item. And then obviously to that 10 on the die, you would add whatever your attack bonus is based on your weapon or your spell, because you could use it anytime you're doing an attack roll, whether it's a melee, a range, or a spell attack. So is anybody that would have interest in having that?
So for me, I've only got I have a +6 on my spell attacks, but most of my spell attacks are saves. So it might be more beneficial at this point for someone else. But if no one else wants it, I will take it.
I'm debating it. Finn?
Thinking about forced averageness. I don't know. It's like you have to be really good at that attack for it to be worth doing our really weak opponent at a really critical time.
For now, I'm just going to put it in everybody's journal, and then when we figure out who we want to assign it to, I'll update that and assign it and put it in one specific player's journal, because it could be that it's going to go to somebody that's here, or it could be that it'll go to somebody that is in the party that you guys meet later on.
Sounds good.
Okay, so that's the first item. The next item is a pole of collapsing. Now, the pole of collapsing, while you hold the 10-foot pole, you can use an action to speak a command word and cause it to collapse into a 1-foot-long rod for ease of storage. And the pole's weight doesn't change. And you can use an action to speak a different command word and cause the rod to revert to a pole. However, the rod will elongate only as far as the surrounding space allows. So it's basically a 10-foot pole that collapses down for ease of carrying. And they will tell you, let me go.
It's a fancy baton.
Yeah. Let me go ahead and tell you that to expand, the command word is Expelliarmus. And to collapse, the command word is T90.
T90?
Yeah. And I'm putting that in the item description, and you guys should see that in your journals. So,
dude, I just want to see the dwarf say that word.
And then the next item that they have is they have a wand of pyrotechnics. The wand of pyrotechnics has 7 charges. While holding it, you can use an action to expend one of its charges and create a harmless burst of multicolored light at a point you can see up to 60 feet away. The burst of light is accompanied by a crackling noise that can be heard up to 300 feet away. The light is as bright as a torch flame, but lasts only a second. And the wand regains 1d6 plus 1 expended charges daily at dawn. And if you expend the wand's last charge, roll a d20. On a 1, the wand erupts in a harmless pyrotechnic display and is destroyed. So they will basically tell you all of that. And they tell you that it's not really you don't have to use a command word. You just have to basically think about where you want the pyrotechnic display to appear, and they say that they use that to scare away small animals that sometimes come up. They'll.
So a magical flashbang.
Yeah, basically
Okay.
It's a magical flashbang.
Okay.
Signaling device. Dorsey. You're our setup, man.
So
Dorsey's there. Bueller.
Well, we'll hold on to that. We'll hold on to that for a bit, and we'll have to discuss. We may have to contemplate tonight as we're resting.
Okay. And then the last item that they have is they pull it out and they kind of all look at Abinadom expectantly. This is a hat of wizardry. It's a big floppy hat that it's purple, and it goes up to a big point and it's kind of flopped over at the top, and it's got a big wide floppy brim. And this cone-shaped hat is adorned with gold crescent moons and stars. While you're wearing it, you gain the following benefits. You can use the hat as a spell casting focus for your wizard spells, and you can try to cast a cantrip that you don't know. The cantrip must be on the wizard spell list, and you must make a DC 10 intelligence check. If the check succeeds, you cast a spell. If the check fails, so does the spell, and the action used is wasted. And then you can do that one time per long rest. So
This is wonderful. I've been looking all over for something like this. Thank you very much. And I take the hat and I kind of I'll go ahead and I put it on. So it fits perfectly. I love it. Thank you so much.
yeah. Anybody have any objection to the wizard having that?
No.
I can
Cool
wait.
item, but I'm definitely not wearing that.
I can definitely share it with you guys later on, but I'm going to
Okay.
wear it for now.
I'm
Okay.
fine.
Abinadom, it is in your inventory, so you should.
Sweet.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, they will show you up to this area behind. It's beyond the kitchen. There's this area here. It's a room that they have set aside for you guys up here, and it's got beds set aside for 3 large people, or 3 to them large people, 3 normal medium-sized creatures, and the narratively, when you go check out the lab, they have a bunch of very strange inventions in play. One of them is trying to create what they call a sanity ray. And they say the inspiration for that was that the kings started acting strangely. And of course, now they realize why the kings were acting strangely, because there was a monster on the loose. And so they were thinking that maybe zapping the kings with a sanity ray would do that. And so they had put together all sorts of lenses and crystals, and they had pulverized a couple of different types of mushrooms, and they kept zapping beams of light through it at each other, and it never seemed to have much of any effect. And so they kept thinking that they needed to keep tweaking it. They figure that just maybe a couple of hundred more tries, they'll finally hit on the right combination to get the sanity ray working. Another one is working on a restraining device, because they had worked out that two of the gnomes had disappeared, and they were afraid that something was attacking them, and they thought that it might be one of the other gnomes. They thought that somebody might have some sort of disease or something that was making them go around and attack other people. So they were creating a restraint that would basically bind the person's arms behind their back and cover them from the neck to the knees in a jacket that has all kinds of little buckles on it and everything that they had. And they were trying to get it to where the buckles would all buckle themselves. They had created the jacket, and they were then trying to infuse it with stuff. And every time they tried it, they had gotten it to the point where some of them would buckle themselves, but then other ones would unbuckle. And they could never get it to all buckle at the same time or all unbuckle at the same time. And again, they think, another 50, 60 experiments with just exactly the right kind of magical components, and we can get this to work.
These are amazing inventions that you're working on. I would like to look a little bit closer at these water walking shoes that you've created.
Oh, yeah. Well, we have all the ones that we have right now are sized for gnomes. But let's see, maybe one of them will work. Maybe one of them will work for you. And so they take you out to the river there, to the pool by the waterfall, and somebody goes to work refitting the attachment where it attaches to the boot, and enlarges that so that your boots will fit in there. And they get it clipped in, and they tell you the secret to making the water walking shoes inflate. And you step out and you try to make them inflate, and they do inflate, but then right around your boot, they've stretched it a little too thin, and the fabric rips, and it just deflates really quickly, and it's not going to work. So they're like, oh, well, if we're gonna try to sell these, we're gonna have to learn how to make them bigger size.
How long would it take you to make one a bigger size?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe we'll have to work on it for a few days.
Okay, well, maybe sometime in the near future I will be able to come back and and try one of these for you. And if they work, I will spread the word and bring you much business.
Oh, well, I tell you what, if you wind up finding that dragon and killing it, if you bring us a couple of dragon scales, we'll give you a couple of pairs of these.
Well, I might need more than a pair of these for some dragon scales. Do you have anything else that you've invented that works pretty good?
I'm sure we'll invent some more stuff. But yeah, pretty much the items that we have perfected now are those hats and the poles and the other items, the amulet and the
The pyrotechnics, the wand.
Yeah, the wand, the pyrotechnics, and the hat of wizardry. Yeah, those are pretty much what we've perfected now.
Well, I appreciate the tour, and I look forward to trying on these shoes in the near future. And we will definitely try to take care of this dragon, and hopefully we can make a deal.
Oh, that's great. And so in the morning, they have a breakfast. Once again, they treat you this morning to mushroom bacon, which tastes almost but not entirely unlike bacon. But it is crispy, which is amazing. And they give you a couple of skins of mushroom wine to take back to town with you. And the two kings, King Nurgle tries to be somewhat dignified and thanks you all for your assistance and wishes you well in fighting the dragon. And King Korba says, "Oh yeah, you guys are great. You're welcome to come back anytime. You can come and visit us, and we might have some more inventions we could tell you about." And all the others stand around, kind of like the end of one of those old TV shows where the whole cast is standing there waving as the camera pulls away. The viewer goes away at the end of the episode. So they're all standing there waving at you as you all head out and head back.
Don't forget, did we get our receipt for this?
Oh, yes. They, you're bringing back these magic items, essentially, is your receipt. It proves that you have been there. And, of course, you have the trophies with the tongue of the mimic.
That's fair.
Okay. And as you head back towards Phandalin, we will pan over to the Stonehill Inn. And it's about mid-morning. And we see a couple of adventurers there who have been put in touch with the town master, and the town master has given them tokens to mark them as members of the Phandalin Adventurers Guild. So now let me go find that item. And I okay. Chris and Ivy, you actually may have that in your journal already. There's something called a guild token.
Yep.
Okay. That is roughly the size of a gold piece, and it is embossed on one side with the seal of the town of Phandalin, and on the other side, it has that PAG in raised letters on it, and you were told that stands for the Phandalin Adventurers Guild. They tell you that several other adventurers are charter members of the guild and are helping to deal with the problem of the dragon. They're expecting them back in town today, and they hope that you all can work together to find out where this dragon might be and how to successfully deal with it. So let me go over here. And okay, so that is 18, all right. And then, all right, let's see. Okay. You all, the rest of you all, return back to Phandalin. And, whoops, I'm going to go ahead and close this. Okay, so the Stonehill Inn is basically the location where everybody gathers. And Finn, Abinadom, and Dorzaphir, as you all come back into town, there's a great deal of excitement. Some people seem a little bit disappointed that you're not bearing the head of the dragon. They thought when you brought back the tail of that manticore, certainly the next thing you'd be bringing back is evidence of the dragon's demise. But they kind of crowd around the cart and they say, "Oh, what did you find? What did you find?"
We have this for you. I'll lay the tongue across the bar.
Oh my goodness! And Master Stonehill, the innkeeper, he's like, oh my stars, oh my stars. Oh, I suppose you'll be wanting to put that up over the bar too. And a couple of the other people are like, yeah, we should do that. Let's put it up. Let's put it up there with the tail. And Stonehill is kind of like, oh, my bar. And then he seems a bit distraught by that, but then someone reminds him about how much money he made the last time everybody was here celebrating the demise of the manticore, and he is a bit mollified. And it doesn't take long after you all arrive before both Hallia Thornton and Barthen show up, and they ask how everything went, if you were successful in finding the dwarves and the gnomes.
Yes, we were. For both For both, we were.
Oh, excellent, excellent.
We warned the dwarves, and they gave us some messaging or some sending stones. Here's some proof that we met them, and they gave these to us to help in our journey to kill this bastardly dragon.
And Halia says, but they chose not to return to the village.
No, they said they were fine where they was.
Oh, okay. That's dwarves for you. They set their mind to something, and they don't want to stray from it. Well, when you're ready to turn in the cart, come by, and I'll see to your payment for the journey. And then Barthen says, and the gnomes, did the gnomes have anything that might be useful?
I think we're still trying to figure that one out.
A few interesting items. Do you like my hat?
Oh, yes, indeed. Oh, that's very nice. I'll pay you 50 gold for it.
50 gold. Well, I'm going to hold on to this for a little bit longer because I'm going to try and see if I might tweak it to aid me. So for now, I'm going to hold on to this one, and I take it off my head and I kind of tuck it away.
Okay. Well, did they have anything else that might be useful?
We have a stick that can expand and contract when it wants to. The pole of collapsing?
Interesting.
And the clockwork amulet.
Oh. Why? That looks very nice. Do you think those are going to be useful?
Never hurts.
Yeah.
Well, the other one might. I think the other one has some potential. The what do you call that? The signaling device there.
Oh, the wand of pyrotechnics. Yes.
Yeah, if you got a wand of pyrotechnics and got this stone thing, then you can send some messages.
Yes. I was thinking the exact same thing.
Oh, well, good. Well, he turns to Abinadom and he says, if you change your mind about that hat, I'll be happy to buy it from you. And you boys can come by the shop at some point, and I'll take care of paying up and giving you the receipt to take to the town master for your journey to the gnomes. And then he bids you all a good day. And as he does, the innkeeper's daughter, she comes to you and she points over to the table, and she advises you that I believe we said she was Natalie. So Natalie tells you that there's a couple of other adventurers that the town master has recruited into the Phandalin Adventurers Guild, and she points to a table where two figures are seated. Ivy, tell us what they see when they look at Hyza.
Whenever I look over at Hyza, they see like a petite figure with about hair trailing down to her lower back. She has soft-looking skin, as she looks like she carries herself with honor, so she doesn't look slouched over or upset of being there. She looks like she's more excited and interested to be having the ability to take part in this adventure.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Is she a human, elf, dwarf?
Yeah,
What?
she's a human, sorry.
Human? Okay.
Okay. Oh, and I'm sorry, what sort of armor is she wearing, or is she wearing armor?
She's wearing scale mail.
Oh, okay. So she's in scale mail. And she is sitting at a table with another adventurer. And what would they see when they look over at L? Okay, whoever's adjusting your mic, please mute yourself while you're doing it.
Yeah, sorry, I meant to mute myself, but it came unmuted.
At first glance, you'd see a shady figure, almost paranoid, leaning to the back of the corner in the shadow, looking around constantly. Immediately, you'd probably notice the pointy ears sticking up. Elven, obviously. The bronze skin, bronze eyes, black hair probably tells you, if you're worldly, that he's a wood elf. Seems to be average stature. From the skin, you can see he's very corded, obviously active. Other than that, that's about it. Oh,
Okay.
one other thing, you do see a very large scar from the left eye, corner of his eye, down to the right side of his lower chin, and a large tattoo from the left side of his neck down to his lower chest.
Oh, okay. Do either of you have any obvious weapons with you?
I have that's probably one thing you notice too. I have a crossbow, heavy crossbow to my back, a longbow on my back, and a light crossbow on my side with a rapier on the other side. So I'm very heavily armed, to see.
Oh, wow. Okay. And what about Hyza?
Yeah. I'll have my weapon beside me wherever I'm sitting down, not necessarily on my back, but in hand's reach, so I know where it is, but not looking threatening.
And what kind of weapon would that be that they see?
A quarterstaff.
Oh, a quarterstaff. Okay. All right. Excellent. All right. Well, so you see, you guys who just got back from Nomengard see those two sitting over there.
So what's that guy doing recruiting people onto our guild?
I don't know. You give the guy a little hope, and I guess he goes crazy with it.
I take a table, sit at a table, and I look over, especially at the shady dude in the corner, sitting there looking around all paranoid, and I wave him over to the table, and just point at the other seat, and I take a beer and slide over to the seat and just lay it in front of the seat.
I hesitantly look for a moment, but seeing the beer, I can't hold back. I'd make my way over and I slip it down in one go.
And I prestidigitation. I make it frosted for him.
You don't have to prestidigitate that. You could Ray of Frost that beer.
Well, I don't want to go overboard.
That's not going overboard. You touch it. You've done it 1,000 times.
I think you've done it here, bro.
Yeah,
I have.
it's not weird. Even the bartender was like, "Ooh, could you come back here and do that for us for a few?"
Well, I don't want to damage the glass. I don't want to the mug.
It's a tankard. You're not going to damage it. My goodness.
I'm pretty.
My goodness, Abinadom, quit being Wade.
Wait a minute.
Just touch the glass.
I'm getting
Why
pretty
doesn't he
strong.
know this?
I'm getting pretty
Look.
strong here.
He's strong. Look, this isn't him. The mimic thing got him.
Apparently, it shook him a little bit, didn't it?
But it doesn't know who he is now.
I
Right.
appreciate the chill. It went down very smoothly. Thank you.
Welcome very much. Your name, sir?
My name. You can call me L.
L.
Oh,
Dorzaphir. This is Finn, and that is Abinadom.
Nice to meet you.
Likewise.
What brings you to this area?
Same as most, I suppose. I lost my partner and my friend to the dragon attack.
oh,
Yeah,
that's why he recruited him.
we were nomads. It's kind of hard to survive alone once you're used to company.
I lost my father to that same beastly dragon.
My brother.
I've heard you're the party that's supposed to tell us where he's at. Have you heard anything, seen anything?
Well, all we know is that this dragon took over an orc camp somewhere in the mountains. We don't yet know where exactly that camp is. Do you know of or have heard of anything about any orc camps in the mountains?
To be honest with you, like I said, I'm a nomad. I'm not from around here or anywhere near here. I'm just passing through. What happened. But as far as the surrounding area, I have nothing.
Huh. So, which way did you come that you didn't see them?
I came from south of Leyland. I obviously stayed in Leyland when the attack happened and made my way here, taking part in the caravans on the way here, of course.
Okay, so probably not that way.
Correct.
Looking at your weapons, you appear to be able to handle yourself quite well.
Well, to be honest with you, these aren't all my weapons. Like I said, my mate died back there. If you guys are looking for an extra arm, he points down at a light crossbow. I could actually use to lose a few pounds, if you know what I mean.
Works for me. You know that lass sitting over there? The table right there? Is she with you?
She is and she's not. We were put together, but she doesn't talk much.
Shy. I see.
Or maybe it's just me. I don't know.
Hey, Finn.
Yeah, I don't know. Look at her and look at him, you know?
Fair, but I was going to say, go shake her out of her shyness there, Finn.
Oh, me?
Oh, yeah.
I'm the man.
Right, you're the man.
Good God, yeah. He goes over to her. Pauses a second. Yo, my name is F-I-double-N. Fracker. From the Adventurers Guild. I hear you're a fan.
I've heard many good things about the guild. And so far as I know that you guys are out hunting the dragon.
Well, don't believe half of them, because some of them were made up by me. But, yeah, the dragon part is actually right.
Well, that's good to know. At least you guys have a steady goal in mind.
So let me read your mind here a second.
Here he goes again, Abinadom.
You lost the family member to the dragon. Ain't that right?
Multiple people I have lost to the dragon, yes.
Nah, you see? Stick with me, kid. I know things. What do you do?
What do I do?
Yeah, you got a staff, so you're like, you got a staff and you got the scale mail, which is a little bit...
I try and serve and protect as much as I can, And for people who I find worthy, I believe it is a great honor to serve people.
You like to serve the people. Yeah, I feel you. I like to serve people a little bit differently. But right now, you're after that dragon.
I'm here to help any way I can, as I was invited to this guild to help everyone out. And help possible other things as well, like other towns and such.
Ah, you run a little circuit there, huh? So that guy, who was the guy that invited you?
Well, I don't remember names very
Just the one-
easily,
Just
but
the one town master?
yeah, he also invited that shady-looking dude that was sitting next to me. They just told us to go meet in the inn, and they'll come eventually.
Yes, it would have been Town Master Harbin.
Harbin.
Yes.
Okay, so like, did you show him that you could actually do things, or does he like know that you can do things, or do we just have a guild where somebody says, "My people were killed by a dragon," and then suddenly you're enrolled in this guild?
Well, I do very much believe that I have lots to put on the table if I can prove myself worthy.
Put it on the table.
Not
Just
literally.
Put it on the table. Well, if you can.
Hyza will just look at herself and look up at you confused, and it's like, I don't know if I can show you right now, but I can prove myself worthy in battle whenever that day comes.
Uh-huh.
I've used my cantrip message, take my piece of wire out of my pocket, whisper into it, looking at Finn, and go, "You're laying on a little thick, lad. It's okay. You can reply to this message."
What? Look, I just don't want 50 people to show up here, 'cause every time the dragon kills somebody, it's like recruit somebody. She's got armor, she's got a weapon, but it's like, bro.
Okay. Finn, give me a perception check. Actually, I'll ask Abinadom and Dorzaphir to all three give me perception checks.
Perception or persuasion?
Perception.
Jeez.
Nat 20.
I had a 19 and then it rolled to a 3.
I don't see
Okay.
anything.
Abinadom, you're in the same boat with Finn. You're kind of wondering, yeah, how do we know that either one of these people can actually do anything, and that they just didn't go buy some adventuring gear and call themselves adventurers? That's starting to play across your mind, just as it is playing across Finn's mind. Dorzaphir, you can see telltale signs. You can see there's some evidence of wear on the scale mail that Hyza is wearing, and you can see that the weapons that Elle has are very well maintained and look like they have seen a lot of use. There's a few scuffs on his armor and his boots that indicate he's probably been in some action. So you're convinced that these two are probably both seasoned adventurers. You don't know whether they've been adventurers as long as you have, but you know they're not blowing smoke.
I relay that to Abinadom, and Finn's like, these people are worth their weight in metal, friends. I think they're on the level. I think we'll be okay.
Sounds good, Dorzaphir. I trust your brother.
Sometimes I just whisper under my breath or mutter, as like, sometimes I wish he didn't say that.
The trust you or the brother?
A little bit of both. If you
yeah,
only knew.
Come on, guys.
Don't walk around calling people brother, bro.
And I hold on to my belongings ever so tightly.
No, you don't have to worry about that. I'm not that much of an ass. Because I was hearing you and I was like, I'm not that much of an ass. Trust me.
Did anybody grab the light crossbow, crowbar, 10 torches, or 10 pythons that I put on the table?
No, bro, those are yours.
He's trying to get rid of them.
See what you started, Abinadom. Damn it.
There, well, that is a good point to remind everyone that there are two places in town. There's the Lion Shield Coster, and there's Barthen's Provisions. The party that has been out does have an errand over at Barthen's. Both of those sell general goods, and so you probably could go sell those items if they're just extra weight and dragging you down. You could go sell those for half of the book rate, and take those items out of your inventory and add the gold to your inventory.
Well, currently, I'm just kind of just shoving them towards the far end of the table as a presentation of my joining the group, I guess.
Oh, okay. All right.
What are they again?
It's an offering.
It's in the chat, like 5 messages up.
It's in the chat. Okay, light cross. 10 torches. Actually, these things are useful, guy. If you need to go climbing, that's what them things are. And we got light.
Depends on what he took. Depends on, hold on, let me look at my equipment. Depends on what did you take as your start off? Did you take, let's see, depends on the backpack I think he took. He has the same one I have.
Just to speak out of game, or out of character for a minute, I'm a, obviously an elven acrobatic person, so these are useless to me. It's literally dead weight, so if you guys need them, cool. If not, sell them. I don't care.
Look, does any of us have a crowbar?
I do.
I have a spare in my
All right.
bag. This is a second one that I'm offering.
So we don't have. It's like, who uses 2 crowbars, right? I know we need the climbing stuff. In fact, we need more climbing stuff. We don't have anything, do we?
I have some pittance.
You have it?
Tell you what, you guys seem to scoff at that pull you have from your adventures. I think that could be mighty handy if you guys don't have a use for it.
Oh, I'm sure there'll be a use for it.
Yeah, that's what I have. I have all that he's giving up, I have in my bag. So.
Okay. So,
Except the torches. Do I have the torches? I don't see torches in here. That's a good question. But I have the pittance. I have 10 pittance. I have, and a crowbar, but I don't have a crossbow.
There's a light crossbow on the table.
Yeah, I've got a short bow, so I don't need the crossbow.
I might trade the short bow in and get a crossbow. I might take the light crossbow then. I think I can use that.
Well, the short bow is a 6 + 4.
Yeah, that's D. Well, for me, it's 1d6 + 3.
Oh, I've got 1d6 + 4.
It's because
it's because of your dex, I think.
Yeah,
your dex.
Yeah,
It's your dex.
yeah
The
I got
range
good
of 80
dex.
feet. What's the range on a light crossbow?
I'm looking it up right now.
I believe it's 100.
80 through 20.
80
Crossbows have a longer end range than.
So about the same distance as a short bow.
Well, the same distance for short range, but then it carries longer for long range.
Got you. What's the damage on it though?
Crossbows have more damage. 1d8. Short bows 1d6. They both have the same range, and in short.
Yeah, I'll take the light crossbow then, and I'll sell my short bow.
It wasn't adding my modifier when I was looking at it. Okay. Yeah, the crossbow would have been better. Oh well,
Only
you got.
crossbow that weighs a little more and it has loading, so you can't shoot more than once if you have extra attack.
Yeah, I don't.
Do you even know how to use a crossbow, dude?
Shut up.
I'm checking mine. I think I have.
It's a simple weapon.
I think in 5th edition, that's a good question. I think in 5th edition, wizards do have crossbows as their
weapon. light
weapon.
crossbow.
Yeah.
Huh. So I'm the other one that doesn't know how to use that.
Yeah, in some editions, wizards are super restricted in what they can have. It's like basically you get a dagger and a boot to the head.
Yeah.
and 2 hit points.
And I took the dagger because of my dex. So I don't have a cool quarterstaff like Hyza.
Yeah. Speaking of cool items, we dispensed with the Hat of Wizardry. Abinadom has that. But since there's 5 of you now, does anybody have any interest in that clockwork amulet? Basically, it's one free roll of 10 on an attack roll every game day.
Yeah, I might take that just because I've got a +6 on any attack.
Okay.
Exactly.
So
okay, James, I'm just gonna say, since you have the hat, if anybody else wants it, I would kind of use that as a tiebreaker.
I'll take the amulet because I think it would do good for me because on most of my attacks, I'm looking at +5 and then +3. So yeah, I mean that's decent. If I was doing an attack with that's 15. Right.
It's all yours, brother.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let me give that to Dorzaphir. Okay. So, all right. So that Dorzaphir, that should be in your inventory now. Then the pole of collapsing. It's basically a 10-foot pole that can collapse down to a 1-foot rod and then expand back to a 10-foot pole.
Wasn't Elle interested in that one?
I am, but I'm not going to press for it. I'm going to show my use for it, and then maybe it'll be granted to me. I'm not going to ask for it.
Okay.
I have an idea.
Go ahead.
Here's my idea. Oh, I was talking about Elle, about wanting the pole. He has to fight me for it. It's just fair. I mean, I'll gladly give it to him if he shows me his metal. I mean, it's fair. Come on, guys.
But
unfortunately,
weren't you just sending me a message that I wasn't allowed to do that?
No, I sent you a message saying you were a little over the top with flirtatiously towards the woman. That was about it.
What
flirting?
What kind of square are you, bro? No wonder you never get a date.
Oh, you just don't know, Finn. Oh, you just don't know. What happens behind my closed doors?
Have I or have I not rocked every person in this house?
Yeah.
As a raises her hand, you haven't done it to me.
Who's the one that offered the challenge?
Dorzaphir wants. All right, Elle. Let's.
Unfortunately, Dorzaphir. When I want someone dead, they don't see me coming. And secondly, you're my meal ticket right now, so I don't wish to harm you.
You wouldn't hurt me. You had to catch me first.
Maybe you're right. Maybe you're not. Regardless, I don't wish to harm you.
I'm not wasting any healing potions on you, Dorzaphir.
I don't square up to fight, if you know what I mean. I think you do.
No.
He speaks some second hand, third hand, maybe thieves can't. Broken thieves can't. calls you an asshole or something along the lines.
He thinks he's saying something insulting, and what he says is the anthill is over the river.
What?
My eyes are throwing daggers at you, though.
Much love.
Over the river. Bro, I think I found the title for the story about the gnomes.
Finn, you wouldn't even understand what he just said, bro. It's okay, because I didn't say that out loud.
Can we just shake hands and move on? I'm getting bored.
Yes, I give him the friendly, where you grab each other's forearm, when you shake. Yeah, it's all good.
Okay. All right. So what about the wand of pyrotechnics? Does anybody have any interest in that?
Finn, that's right up your alley.
Oh, yeah, for putting on a show.
Right.
Right. As far as getting info, you didn't want it for some reason.
It just didn't. It just didn't suit my fancy.
All right, dude.
Okay, so I will put that in Finn's.
It would make a great distraction, though, if you think about it. Like, because you can cast it up to 60 feet away.
Yep.
Oh, then yeah, that'd be perfect, Finn.
Yeah, tactically, it would be a great way. Like if you're, if you feel like you're about to be discovered by an enemy, you could use that to make a loud noise appear behind them or some other place and divert their attention somewhere else.
Confusion and delusion.
Something you're very good at.
Or I can use this to start a show.
Do we have any humans in the party here?
Me.
Two?
Actually, I think Finn is a human as well.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Right now, among the people that are here, I think we have 2 elves and 3 humans.
Everybody's a human, bro.
One could.
Just some with very pointy ears.
But I speak in Elvish to El. I know what you're saying.
But here's the thing, I can understand Elvish.
Oh, then she can too. Then there's 3 of us, 4. Let's see. Me, El is Elvish. So
I speak Elvish, right?
Yeah, then Abinadom is Elvish as well, so everybody speaks Elvish.
Yay!
Perhaps a less keen individual should carry that wand, if you know what I'm saying. I look at the tapping my eye.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I pick up the pole collapsing and I just hand it to El. I said, make good use of it.
I'm like a kid on Christmas morning.
Okay, so let me go ahead
And I bet Abinadom and Finn are giving me dagger eyes, just looking behind me. I feel a look behind me like, what is he doing?
And you say I'm the master of confusion.
This is my job.
How do I work this here?
This is your job?
Okay, Chris, it should be in your journal now, the pole of collapsing. And then when it is in its collapsed state, you just say the word Expelliarmus and it will expand to 10 feet.
Do I know that word just from holding it, or do they have to tell me?
If they give it to you, I'm going to say they tell you. Unless anybody says they want you to try to figure it out.
I'm going to stand it up.
We're not going to pull a prank on him.
I'm going to stand it up on the floor just to test. I'm going to put my right foot standing up on top of it and say the word, see if I can balance what it is.
Okay. If you are pressing your foot down on it and you say it, you can feel it try to expand, but it's being blocked by your foot, so it's not going to expand.
That was my next test, so it has no resistance.
It does have resist. Well, yeah.
So, in other words, you can't use it if you get caught in a trash compactor by the evil empire.
Okay.
You cannot use it to stop the walls of the trash compactor from.
So I want to stand it up like I did before, standing off of it, say the word, let it extend, and then see if I can climb the top of the point up top.
No, it's not something that is anchored into the ground. You start trying to put some weight on it, and you can feel like it's gonna just slide out from underneath you. It doesn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do I feel like from that test that if a strong person held it, I would be able to do so?
It feels like it has the strength of a 10-foot, basically a 10-foot wooden pole that's maybe 1.5 or 2 inches in diameter. It's fairly sturdy, but like if you it's longer than a quarterstaff, so if you hold it out, it's kind of going to do a little bit of floppy at both ends. It's not like a rigid metal pole or anything.
So just speaking out of game terms, if I were to try to do that, probably a check on both sides?
Yeah, it probably would. So, yeah, you don't get the opinion, or you don't get the feeling that this is meant to be something that, like, you could put across a chasm and it would hold your weight to, like go hand over hand across. It probably would be a little too fragile for that. But you get the idea that it's probably something that if you were somewhere and you were looking to see if there were trap doors in the floor, you could probably push it down on the floor and see if it would push any trap doors open or would trigger any pressure plates or things like that.
Got it.
In other words, it's the kind of 10-foot pole that Mordenkainen would say that every adventurer needs.
I agree.
And then to collapse it again, you say the word T90. Expelliarmus to expand and T90 to collapse.
Did you by chance put those in the sheet?
Yep, it should be
perfect.
in the item itself.
Perfect.
If it was T90, it would sound cool, but no, they have to make it gnome.
Of course, it's gnomes.
Records for tiny. I get it.
All right. We will. Where do you guys want to go to collect your reward first? Do you want to go over to Barthen's, or do you want to go down to the Phandalin Miners Exchange?
Barthen's is the gear. He's the one that has all the gear and stuff.
Yep.
I gotta sell my short bow. Who else needs anything to go? Well, we need to go collect our money anyways. All right, fellas, you ready to go get paid?
Yeah, it's about time. Let's go.
Right. Come on, rookies. Let me show you how this is done.
In case you don't know how to buy anything from a store, apparently.
No, this is collecting payment.
Let's go get some shiny things.
We all know how you like shiny things, Abinadom.
I do. And I admire the gold trim on my hat. Oh, it's so pretty.
Oh, Lord. Here he goes again.
Don't I look pretty?
I know what to get you for the Yule time. Goodness gracious.
Okay, so you get over to Barthen's, and Barthen will give each of you that went on the adventure, so the three of you, Abinadom and Finn and Dorzaphir, you all three get 50 gold each and a receipt that you can take to the town master. And then you want to sell that short bow. So let's take a quick peek at that. And again, let's just see equipment. So short bow. Okay, short bow is 25 gold, so he will give you 12 gold, 5 silver is what he'll offer you for the short bow.
Fine with me.
Okay. And then while you all are conducting that, he will say, "Oh, there is another job for the Adventurers Guild that we can that I can tell you about. It's about time for the supplies to go out to the loggers' camp in Neverwinter Wood. Now, deep in the woods, along the river that flows west towards Neverwinter, is a logging camp. Every 2 months, Phandalin delivers fresh supplies to the camp, which is run by Phandalin's or run by Harbin's half-brother. And if you can see the supplies that we have ready, carried safely to the loggers and bring back the cart, I'll give each of you 100 gold pieces.
Ooh.
Sounds fun.
What do you say?
Basically, he wants you to carry supplies to a logging camp in Neverwinter Wood. He has a cart that has all the supplies for the loggers. If you take it out there and then bring the cart back, he'll give each of you 100 gold pieces.
Whoa.
I'm
Dude,
game.
what's up there? No, haven't I told you guys anything yet? Look, always ask why. And if they're giving you 100 gold pieces, you better ask why.
Well, because Tibor Wester, who is Harbin's half-brother, Tibor and the loggers are out there, and they need their supplies from the town.
Mm-hmm.
There's the dragon about, so the delivery has to be protected in case the dragon attacks.
Were there any recent dragon sightings in this area? This is the Manticore thing all over again, guys.
And there's somebody who's shopping for supplies, and he looks like a drover from a caravan, and he says, "Oi, on the way here, we heard there was a sighting of the dragon, and the dragon was out on the." Oh gosh, okay. I had it just a moment ago. The dragon was out on the Tribor Trail. And in terms of where that is compared to you all are here in Phandalin. And the Tribor Trail is this road that runs from the high road out this way. So this, let me do this. It's this road here is the Tribor Trail. So somewhere out here is where the dragon was spotted. And the loggers camp that he wants you to go to he will show you a map, and that loggers camp is located here.
It's practically back where we came from.
No,
Actually,
it's
that's
the opposite direction.
very much the opposite direction.
What?
Maybe if you were standing upside down, but
It's 600 gold.
No, not just now. Where we came from originally.
no, that was down south.
yeah, you guys came from Leland down here.
That was south. This is going north.
Yeah.
So we
Way
could
north.
It's going here, and the dragon sighting was in between the town and the loggers camp.
Along
a little bit of the
along the Tribord Trail, but we could take
Yeah.
the high road, whatever, along the coast to that river and take that river into the loggers camp.
I'm all for that.
That will keep us off the Tribord Trail as much as possible.
Also, it's a lot easier than going through a thick forest.
Fair.
I mean, we're escorting a cart, are we not?
Yeah, you're going with a cart, so probably to get there, you would have to go around the edge of the forest to the verge of the river, and then probably up the river, unless there's a trail. And actually, Barthen will tell you that right about here, there's actually a logging trail that goes into the woods. And so not all of the roads are marked on maps, just the major ones. So he says there's roads to go along the edge of the woods and everything. So yeah.
I think if we take the high road, it's going to add another day on our trip. I think if we just go up and hug the side of the forest there, that'll be good. And we can duck inside the forest for cover when we sleep at night. What do you think?
He's got a head on his shoulders. I kind of agree with that plan.
I think there's something out there.
There's always something out there, Finn.
The dragon might have been seen along that road, but who knows where it's at now. We can't navigate according to that dragon sightings.
Well, as long as the terrain doesn't make us go slower, sounds like a good plan. But I say we go get our other goal first before we depart on the adventure. Yes.
Payment first.
Okay.
Oh,
So go ahead.
Before we depart, I'd like to trade in my short bow for a long bow. How much will you give me for my short bow?
Well, he'll give you 12 gold, 5 silver for the short bow. And then for the long bow, the total cost is 50 gold. So it's basically 38 gold. 38 gold, 5 silver and the trade-in of the short bow to buy a long bow.
Well, he will give me 5 silver, and I will give him my short bow and 38 gold, correct? Did you say you would give me 12 gold and 5 silver for my short bow?
Yeah, so it's 38.5 is your cost. Out of your pocket is 38.5.
Well, it would be
37.5.
37.5.
37.5. Sorry.
Yeah.
37.5.
So I'll make the exchange, and I will give you 38 gold pieces.
All right. There you go. Yes.
You guys realize we didn't used to fight like this until there was a woman involved.
Wow.
All right. So you all.
I just put my hand in my face and just go, oh, Lord.
Who just bought the longbow?
Abinadom did.
You sold a short bow for it?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have arrows already?
Yeah.
Okay. So go ahead.
Before we move on, I want to ask the is it the innkeeper or is it a new shop?
No, you're at Barthen's Provisions now.
I'll ask Barthen if he has any bolts available.
Any what? I'm sorry, you faded there.
Crossbow bolts.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can buy.
I'll take 80.
Yeah, the crossbow bolts, they cost a gold piece for 20 of them.
I'll take 80.
Okay, so that's 4 gold.
Did I take the light crossbow for you, or do I need to buy one?
Someone took it.
I took it. Yeah, I took the light crossbow.
Yep.
I just took my arrows and took them out of my inventory and just traded them for crossbow bolts. Is that fair? Or do I need to pay?
I think they're about the same price. They're the same price. Yeah, they're the same price. You can probably haggle him for a 1-to-1 trade, but normally it's he'll give you half. He'll give you half for that. So basically, he would charge you
5 silver.
5 silver for the first 20, and then a gold for each 20 after that. If you're trading in 20 arrows.
That's fine. I just removed 5 silver from my inventory. No big deal.
Okay. All right. And the way I do ammunition after a battle, presuming that you're not firing into a canyon or into the ocean or into boiling lava or something, is that at the end of an encounter, you can run around the battlefield and you can find half of your expended ammunition, and it's recoverable, and the other half is, damaged beyond being able to be used, or is just lost or whatever.
So I can't mend it then if I use a cantrip to mend.
Well, if you want to try to play that game, then we'll say you automatically find half, and then I'll make you roll d20s to find the rest.
Okay.
And if you do find them, you'll find them, and then you can use your mending. But the standard rule, just for expediency, is
Gotcha.
You recover half of the expended ammo.
Yeah, I think the issue is actually finding them.
Yes, that's fine.
Yeah.
10 days rations. I had to do.
Okay, 10
we were
days
down on that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to ask, do we have enough rations to last us the trip there? Or
I
not?
have a day, I think. Do I have a day?
Okay. Yeah.
No, I have 5. I have 5 days worth of ration.
Okay.
Did you count what it took to get here, to get to the city?
How long did it take us to get back?
Because I had 5 too, but I think it takes us 2 from there. But it was kind of triangular, so I guessed it at 3.
Yeah, it should have been 3 days. 3 days. Yeah, 3 days.
Yeah, I'll stack up on some rations too.
Yeah, it's 5 silver per day of rations.
Oh, I did it. Okay. 4 more gold.
I'll take and round mine up to 10. So I'm at 3, so 7 rations. And it's 5 apiece.
5 silver each, yeah.
Okay. I'll be buying some as well.
Okay.
Let's see. Anybody got a grappling hook to go with those pittance?
I don't, but I can climb pretty much any surface, but the rest you might need.
Let's see. I think somebody used rope. So it might have been out of rope.
I don't remember using my rope, but I have 50 feet of hempen rope.
You got the rope. Well, that's enough. Unless we really would kill ourselves by going too far.
Yeah.
So we need the
Grappling
grappling hook.
hook is 2 gold.
Okay, got that.
And if anybody else wants to buy rope, 50 feet is 1 gold for hemp rope, or you can buy 50 feet of silk rope for 10 gold.
God bless.
And it's the silk rope is the same strength but half the weight. So it weighs 5 pounds for 50 feet versus 10 pounds for the hemp rope.
How much does the silk cost again? 50?
10 gold.
10. Okay.
10 gold for 50 feet.
Just trying to bookkeeping.
Yep.
I think I'm good. I don't think there's anything else I need. What about Abinadom?
No, I wish there was a magic store around here, but I think I'm good.
Yeah, Phandalin is gonna be a little bit limited on the amount of items that you can find. If you guys get over to Neverwinter or you get over to Waterdeep, you can find just about anything at either of those places. But of course, the prices are always higher in the big city.
And going to Waterdeep, we'd have to transfer our currency, wouldn't we?
They will accept currency, and it's a whole lot of bother to try to do the conversion rates. So I just say, all of the major trading hubs will accept currency from minted in any of the other Sword Coast cities. But yeah, in your pocket, you have probably in this area, I would say maybe 40% of your coins are minted in Neverwinter, and then you have a fair percentage that comes from Waterdeep, some from Baldur's Gate, maybe some from up in farther north in the Sword Coast.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what I might want. Just some small vials or containers to hold items that I might find.
Okay. Each vial, each empty vial costs 1 gold. They are rare and delicate items.
Okay, well, I'll take 5 of those.
Okay. It's fine glasswork, and that's expensive.
So Abinadom, why don't you go ahead and buy me 3 for the ones I gave you?
Okay. What did you give me?
I gave you, I think it was 2 or 3. I can't remember because you needed one for the
Manticore.
You wanted one for the Manticore, one for the mushroom dirt.
Oh, the mushroom dirt.
And one for the
mimic skin.
For the mimic skin.
All right, so I buy 3 more and give them to Dorzaphir.
Okay. All right.
So that's -8.
You happen to have any ball bearings by chance?
Ball bearings.
Well, I mean, I do. I didn't know if you were asking the DM or not.
The trader.
Yeah.
He can sell you a bag of 1,000 ball bearings for 1 gold.
You have any more than the one bag?
Oh, yeah. Hey, how many are you looking to buy?
How many do you have?
Okay. That. He's got 5 on hand.
That's the exact number I had in my head.
Okay. All right.
Great minds, great minds.
All right. So he will gladly sell you all 5 of them.
For 1 gold apiece?
Yes, 1 gold each.
Perfect.
Finn, or let's see, Finn or Hyza, either of you want anything?
Well, Finn got the grappling hook.
I put the silk rope already in my equipment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I bought
All
2
right.
of them. He does have 2 of them, right?
Yep. He has
Okay.
2. Okay. Well, in that case, that's a good time for us to take our break. I have 41 after the hour. Let's come back at 50 after. Take a little bio break, grab something to drink, whatever. And I am going to put the music on during the break. So you can go ahead and mute, or you can listen to the music, your choice. And we'll be back at 50 after.
One, two, three. I can't. Oh, did it do it again? Go ahead, Vernon.
All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead and do what?
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Oh, I can hear you now.
Uh-huh. I just got here. What are you checking somebody's mic?
No, I was testing my phone. I'm in the only place I can smoke.
Oh, that's what you're asking.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm on my phone. Yeah.
Because I just sat back down and he said, "Go ahead, Vernon." I was like, "Okay." What am I supposed to do? A solo?
No, it's all good, brother.
Zell 5-5.
So, Ivy and Chris,
Yes,
how are you?
I'm okay. Still slightly not there yet, but getting there.
And that's hard to break in right there.
Mm.
That wasn't a place where it had a really good
Because if it
intrigue.
is one thing that I really do suck at is introducing characters.
Are you
I
going to
do
go with the
it by
thing?
mistakes.
Are you going to go with the thing that we talked about?
I'm still kind of iffy because it's really in the background. It doesn't really make a difference if they do know each other or not. But
But it gets you talking, and that's in this one we're not as reliant on backgrounds because it's not as sandboxy. There's a lot going on. There's a high pace.
Mhm.
But at times, if you get yourself talking, you keep on talking. So
Yeah.
it's still got that function.
And we just have fun with it.
I'll get used to it more as time goes on. But
I appreciate you joining the game.
I do apologize for like the ear rape earlier. I went to put on a sweater. I have a flip microphone, and I didn't notice that it came down, so it unmuted myself. So I do apologize for that.
It's okay. I was having technical issues a couple weeks ago because apparently my mic didn't like me too much.
Yeah.
Did you figure out what that was?
Days.
Yeah, it was some goofy setting with my computer, but I fixed it.
Yay.
Oh. Well.
Hell, for some
happened.
reason I keep, or Chris, I have a feeling either you're a fighter or you're a rogue.
If I tell you, can you not let your character know this information?
Yes, I cannot let my character know this information. I can separate
No
my character
promises.
from who I am.
No.
Perfect.
No, I can promise that. I'm good at that, actually.
I-
Joking.
I'm a elven criminal champion fighter who favors a heavy crossbow.
That's why. Okay, that's why you could understand broken thieves can't. Okay.
I
Criminal
can't
check.
understand it, but I've been around it long enough to where it's like, if you work at a place where Spanish people work, you hear it all day, every day. You get a little bit in
You pick
pieces.
it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, whenever I was
That's fair.
hearing your character, I was like, okay, well, he's kind of skittish, lonesome. I'm thinking like rogue or someone to himself. Yeah. Like a
Yeah,
hunter.
but I get along with Abinadom. And hey, I make Finn money. What are you talking about? Ain't that right, Finn?
I got a question for you guys though. I just realized while I was in the other room, we did our introduction, but I know nothing about you guys. Would you guys mind doing an introduction to your character so we know what we see?
We can probably talk about that while we're traveling.
Yeah, because Ken will want that on stream, so that's not a problem. But I can
Okay.
describe my character. Finn probably you could, or should I say Vernon. You could tell Vernon's character. He's over the top. I love him. So, but
Fun isn't
I
running over the top. This is charm.
that's right.
He
I'm
is the
paid to be
king
over the
after
top.
all.
I am the king. I was the
He
king.
reminds me. He reminds me of Dandelion from Witcher. He's just over the top and always there.
Well, we can't actually even see each other's character profile. So if you guys wouldn't mind, you older players,
Well-
other than Ivy, if you could post your character portraits in Discords, just so
I
know what
already
I'm looking
did.
at.
I did my.
no. Yeah, I got you, but I mean the other three. I have no idea who these people are as characters.
Well,
I can't actually
Ryko's
post
is
it.
in it.
Oh, hey, hey guys, that reminds me. If we go here to the start page, and if you,
Make your screen bigger.
or actually, yeah, if you reduce your size, you will see there's, I have the character portraits of the older characters there. And what I will do, I'll go ahead, Ivy. I see you've put your
Yeah, I know how to do stuff sometimes.
Yeah. I will put your character there.
Dang.
Okay.
Holy shit! 2 of you guys have pictures that I was looking at when I was researching my character. That's amazing. Finn and Gorrim. I bookmarked both those pictures for NPCs.
Yeah, and I don't know how to put my picture on that token thing.
If you have your character sheet, you can just drag your name onto the battlefield, and then it will pop up.
Yeah, and I put it on there before your old. Yep, there you go. So let me get rid of your. Nope, just stop what you're doing.
Oh, sorry.
The old one. No, and then we'll do this. That's too big. I'll do this.
Well, he is an elf, so I guess he is taller than most of us.
I was trying to make them all pretty much.
But I don't have that big of a head.
Yeah. Okay, so there's Abinadom.
Oh, there's a picture of him with a body now?
Welcome back.
Yeah, that's what happens when I switch between my phone and this.
Okay, so now the one we are missing is Chris. So let me pull. Oh yeah, okay. So Chris, there's something weird.
He's such a
I
square.
know.
My character portrait and my character sheet is not the same as my token.
Yeah, you don't have your token as your picture.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I need to
put it
here.
in.
Here, let me grab. I put it on here before. Where is it? It's the artwork. There it is. I'm going to move it here. And then I am going to use a selected token. Save that. Now, we'll just do that. So now, next time you grab your... next time you grab your...
I'm huge.
You're on there twice. You're duplicating.
Oh my god.
Oh.
You've got a really big head, bro.
Okay. Yeah, so let's see. I'm gonna just hide Gorrim for now. And I'm gonna hide Gabriel for now. We'll bring Abinadom over here, Dorzaphir over here.
Yes, I'm in the middle. The only female in the party. Hell yeah.
So is it Doors and Finn that are the humans?
Hyza, Finn, and another one is human. Dorothy.
Yeah.
That's your name now.
My nickname is Dorothy.
Yep.
Hyza, are you a cleric, wizard? What is your specialty? Fighter with a quarterstaff? What do you do?
Me?
Yes.
Okay. Cleric, I believe. Yeah, cleric.
Oh, cleric. Okay. That's what I thought. I wasn't sure if I missed that or not. Okay.
Okay. So there are all of the tokens. And yes, also while we're doing that, something I intended to do and then we got sidetracked and I didn't do it, is I intended to let, since we have 2 new players, I intended to let all of the players introduce themselves as well as their characters. And we'll just start, I guess we'll start with the order that they go across the screen here. So Elle, tell us a little bit about Chris as a player and your experience with D&D and what drew you to this game.
I'm an old school gamer. I grew up with I was probably 4 or 5 years old. Got my NES when it first came out. Favorite game was Zelda. So I've been RPGing since they've been a thing. I had an Atari back in the day, so I played games my whole life. I actually went to school for game art and design, so I've been infatuated with the whole genre. As a player, I started by watching Roleplay, which is a YouTube, Twitch channel. I didn't really know what D&D was. I mean, I knew what it was, but I hadn't really seen it. I started watching the first stream, which to me was the first stream, and I couldn't stop watching. They had season after season, and I grew in love with it before I even played it. Finally got the nerve once Roll20 became a thing. Saw that I could play online. I was like, cool. So I jumped in and been hooked ever since. Recently, I put in probably 1,000 hours, and then recently I stopped. I haven't played in about a year since this game, so I'm kind of rusty, so bear with me. But I'm right back to where I left off. As a character, L, the backstory I have for him is he's a criminal. He was an orphan. Him and his buddy, Jackson, they left their orphanage at preteen age when they found out that they can survive by themselves, and they've been nomads traveling city to city. They realized that their only way to survive is to steal, rob, burglarize. So they did so, and they would do so in each city that they came across until they overstayed their welcome, and then they would skip to the next city. That's where they came into, Leyland, whereas L was supposed to be on the job, but he grew sick, and his friend Jackson was supposed to do the job himself, which is when the dragon attack happened. So he blames himself a lot for that attack and for his friend's death. And not only that, but he's been a duo his whole life, and now all of a sudden he's a solo. So running into this group means a lot, but he's still very, not able to trust very easily.
Okay, great. Thanks, Chris. Vernon, tell us a little bit about Vernon for the new player. Well, actually, Chris is probably the only person that doesn't know since you knew Ivy before she joined the game.
Right.
So tell Chris a little bit about Vern and about Finn.
Vernon is original AD&D player. Had that basic set actually, and so I was in Dungeons and Dragons before Dungeons and Dragons was even advanced. Then I got off of it. From Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, I got off of the thing in the mix-up in the 80s and the craziness, and in the fact that I was growing talents. I was starting to sing in public, and later on I'll go into acting, improvising, and all of that. So it all got kind of dropped because I was getting my creative things elsewhere, including being an actor at Medieval Times for 9 years, lead actor at that. And then I went back to my old business when they changed the King Show to Queen Show. I have this online business that I've been doing. It's what I've been doing to make money, basically. And I sit here and I work on my business, and I play these games because it's slow enough to do that. So I've got all this background of things, but I'm a little bit slow speaking. But I know familiarization with multiple art forms, improvisation, method acting, voice acting, etc. Tell you once and tell you again. F5 double N.
Love it.
Fracker.
Never fails.
Fracker is what it started is DDP, old school Diamond Dallas Page from like the 80s and 90s when it first started, and with a little bit of a D. Snyder from Twisted Sister. It's starting to grow where I've just only grabbing a couple of DDP sayings, I think is all that's left actually. And I feel like his music is starting to take, like, maybe if Journey was hard rock or Phil Collins was hard rock with his sort of musicality. But it's sort of this rock and roll 80s style bard concept with a little bit over the top, a little bit of a self ambition. I brought it up before, but he had a cousin killed, but he may not remember that cousin's name too well. When he heard the guys talking, about let's start an adventurers guild, that happened to be what he wanted to do. He wanted to change the world through rock and roll and himself in the middle of a club, an adventurers club. And so it was really his goal to get that. It was really his goal to more get that club, get that guild going than it was to kill the dragon. But it seemed like one back scratched another.
All right. Great. Okay, and Ivy. Tell us a little bit about Ivy's experience with D&D and whatever you'd like to tell us about Hyza.
So as much as I hate to say it, but I am a newer player to D&D. I only got into it maybe like a year or two ago. My sister had invited me to one of her games, which they were looking for a character player, which I met Vernon there in that campaign. And I wanted to get into D&D anyway because I was majorly interested in this type of game. I love dungeon crawlers. I love co-op games, playing together, strategy, keeping like your thoughts in one place and expanding it to many different things. So I really do like using my knowledge to the best of me. Like I said, I am a newer player, so I might not be as advanced as everyone else, but I found this game through Vernon because he had invited it to me. My character's name is Hyza Senira. Her, whenever she was little, she lost her family to a dragon attack that attacked her village. Like she says in her backstory is growing up with a normal family, a mother, a dad, a brother who thought he was constantly better, could only be a fond memory met by tragedy. And her brother, which was also the cousin of Vernon, which he does not remember. I mean, Finn. But, so they're kind of linked, but very separate in other ways. So his face kind of seems familiar, but at the same time, so much more distant. So that's probably one of the links that she has of the party, which she doesn't fully connect to right away. So with her backstory, with that tragedy, she got basically reimbursed through this church of Lathander, and she basically served them for as many years as she could until they pushed her and saying, hey, well, this guild has so much more opportunity for you, so you should go take the chance and serve whatever you think is right. So she took the chance. She's iron-willed, she's very trustworthy, but she does keep to herself most of the time, even though that she does speak her opinion and is very strong in what she thinks is right. She might have a small figure, but don't let that fool you, because she isn't as weak as you think it is. And one of her quotes that I have written down for her is, looks can only bring you so far, but strength will bring you so much farther to accomplish what you want. Which speaks a lot about her personality whenever you try and think about her or learn her better, but yeah, that's a little about Hyza.
Okay, great. Well, we also have another new player in the group, and you'll find out a little bit about him in a few minutes. So don't feel alone. This Essentials game is a great game for new players because it just makes things very easy and trimmed down. You don't have to think about all of the rules. And it also, I thought this would be a good way of finding a group that would get to know each other as players, and then when they start to create their characters for the main campaign, which I'll talk about in a little bit, you all will kind of have some ideas of maybe if you want any of your characters to be related to each other or know each other or anything of that nature. Michael, tell us a little bit about Michael's background with D&D and Dorzaphir, or whatever you want to tell us about Dorzaphir.
Mysterious. No, my name's Mike. My experience with D&D was I played all the way back in 3.5 for a while, for a couple years, then got out of it, then got back into 5th edition, DMing some games, playing some games, and then I found Roll20. That's my son. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Then got into Roll20.
Adorable.
He's 3. Then got into Roll20 and met, DM Gallibond and a nice group of people, and we played on Black Friday. And then he said, "Oh, I'm starting another game," and joined in on that. And then about my character, so Dorzaphir had a brother who died in Leyland. And kind of like Elle, him and his brother were doing, heists and going around and just being secretive with their work. Didn't really find a home, even though they came from a good background. So ended up with these guys and said, you know what, I'm going to get revenge for this thing taking my brother out, and also make some money along the way, so it's not too much of a hassle. And just fell into a good place with them. His description, kind of like his character picture. He's slender, kind of medium build. He wears his cloak, puts it over his head a lot, and he won't be afraid to tell you what he thinks.
Okay.
That's pretty much him in a nutshell. But he's not going to steal from his party. I'm just going to tell you that. I'm not going to steal from you. So don't worry.
Damn right, or else I won't heal you.
You got to catch me first.
Okay. All right. And Abinadom, or I'm sorry, James, tell us a little bit about James as a player and Abinadom, the character.
Sure. So I am a father of 7 children, master of none. My first experience with D&D was back in the mid 80s when I think I played for about an hour with a kid down the street. All I remember from that episode is I obtained a bag of holding, and as soon as I put something sharp in it, it ripped, and I lost all my treasure. And but that's pretty much my only experience with D&D, other than playing Pool of Radiance on the computer when I was younger. Recently learned about the what do you call it? Not the resurrection, but the comeback, immense popularity of D&D. Coming back in the mainstream. I started reading up on it, thinking I've always had a desire to play it. I just have never had an opportunity to do it. I listened to some blog or some podcasts. Then I discovered Roll20 and thought how wonderful of a tool this is for someone like me who can't spend a lot of time playing games like this. And so these Thursday nights, I'm on the East Coast, so these 8 to 11 works pretty good, one night a week, where I can tell my family I'm locking myself in the office and I'm going to be a kid again. So it's been fun, and this is actually my first adventure. So this is I'm the newest of the new, and it fits well with my character Abinadom, who is a high elf who had just recently graduated from wizarding school. And we had just had our graduation when the dragon attacked and killed my father. My name is Abinadom Blackwood. I had an older brother who was the black sheep of the family. He didn't follow in the footsteps of Ma and Pa, who were of the wizarding kind. And he came back from my graduation, and good old dad passed away. We commiserated with each other. I had made a good relationship with him. But in the midst of our adventuring, I think he went on a bender and disappeared, and we don't know where he went off to. And so I am very knowledgeable, although sometimes I have a tough time remembering the things that I studied. I was very studious in school, although the practical side could use some work. In fact, our first experience attacking some lowly goblins, I attempted to shoot them with some amazing, powerful missiles, and instead some light orbs went bouncing around and swirling them. So I try to do my best. I might not always do it perfectly, and it fits well with me in real life and me as a character. So that's Abinadom.
All right, and and I am DM Gallibond. I have played D&D. Well, I'm right there with Vernon in terms of having played since the days of the old box set back before there was an AD&D. I like to say that was the version of D&D that was so poor they could only afford 3 alignments. There was a lawful, a neutral, and a chaotic. They had not invented the good and evil axis to go along with the alignments in those days. But I played off and on every edition of the game except for 4th. It really wasn't intentional that I sat out the period of 4th edition, but kind of like Vernon, it was a period when, not necessarily with creative side, but just work and other projects and everything just got so busy I didn't have time to play D&D during those years. I did read a little bit about it and heard a little bit about it. And like some of you others have mentioned, I followed some podcasts and some streaming things where they were playing 4th edition. And so I kind of got a flavor of how that edition plays out. Then a few years ago, I got to a point where I was ready to dive back in. That coincided with the launch of 5th edition. And in my town, which Vernon and I are about 3 miles, 4 miles, 5 miles apart as the crow flies, there's a hobby shop here, a chain called Cool Stuff Games, and they were looking to launch the Adventurers League. They didn't have it at the time, so I went to the store in Maitland, talked to them, and I started running Adventurers League on Monday nights there at Cool Stuff Games. And eventually we were running it at 3 different locations and had about 20 tables over several different nights a week. So that became very popular. And then I had to pull back from doing all that stuff going out to do it, so I started running games on Roll20. And I currently run 3 weekly games on Roll20. This game on Thursday nights, which I like because it's very much by the book and it doesn't require me to do a lot of week-to-week preparation. There's a Saturday game I call the History of D&D, which is kind of an ambitious game where we are using the original D&D rule set that Vernon and I have talked about. It's a more or less virgin game world where my plan is to play through a campaign in each edition of D&D and advance the timeline of the world a few hundred or 1,000 years between every campaign. And then all the stuff we do in one game becomes part of the history and the legends and the lore that that you see in the future games. So it's sort of building and layering the history of the world while we play through every edition of D&D. And so I just thought the History of D&D makes a good name for that game. Then on Sunday afternoons, I run a 5th edition game where it's the concept with that one is it mixes the lore of D&D 5th edition and the lore of Magic the Gathering. So there's items and creatures and locations that are based on elements out of both Magic the Gathering and D&D, and the plot weaves through different planes of existence. And the kickoff for that campaign was a planeswalker in Magic the Gathering terms who got stranded in the city of Waterdeep and had to hire some local adventurers to help her out. And that's what the party became. And then later on in the campaign, she got kidnapped by a bunch of Githyanki who raided Waterdeep in a fleet of astral vessels and made off with her. And so now they are chasing the Githyanki across the different planes of existence to try to get their boss back. So that's the plot of that game.
That's deep.
I'm lost.
Seems very
Well, that's because you're a first level character, pretty much.
Literally and figuratively.
These guys are at least third level characters, right?
Yes, they are third level characters. All right,
I got
so
a question for you, DM. I'll figure out nicknames for everybody else in game, but for you, it's kind of more formal. What would you prefer to be called?
you can say, hey, DM or GDDM or Gallibond or whatever. It doesn't, I'm pretty easy as long as we can designate that you're talking to me and you're not confusing anybody else. I'm fine. So
Perfect.
yeah. Hey, you.
DM Gal it is, unless you tell me otherwise.
I noticed about Gallibond. I feel like if you say it like 3 times in front of a mirror, something will happen. Gallibond. There's something about that.
And
I
we
might
all
have
just
to try
died.
that
Death
later.
saves.
Well,
He shows up with all of his D&D books and says, "You ready for a game?" Don't forget the dice.
Show up in a. Well, you actually used the stealth skill incorrectly.
God, you should do the voice of the guy in the Critical Failures book. You should so do his voice now.
I got a question for the party. Those introductions, should we incorporate those into in-game? Did we share those over a fire or our in-room? Should we know that in-game or no? Does anybody object?
No, I think
that's fair.
Yeah, I think we just know it now.
Almost
Okay,
none
cool.
of mine is useful in game because I described this character in terms that did not exist in game.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's. I'm fine with you guys describing your characters in out-of-game terms, in-game terms, when we are in the middle of the game and role-playing, and you all are clearly trying to role-play with each other. That's one thing. But if you're just describing your characters and setting up, giving the other players some background, I'm fine with you guys handling that however you wish. You can either say you all your characters know that about each other now, or if you want to work some of that into RP later on and pretend that your characters don't know much about each other, that's fine too. That's up to you.
Yeah, I just thought it might save a little bit of time, RP wise. If anyone objects, feel free to step out from that circle. That's fine.
Well, other than he's not making known the fact that he's been using the party.
Okay.
So it's like, yeah, I'm into revenge for my cousin. We got to kill the dragons because he came to my cousin. That's his cover story.
Mhm.
So he's not going to bring it out. And also, he never seems to talk about his cousin ever. That's the only thing you've got.
I'll step out on a limb.
Anybody other than himself ever.
Don't make me roll perception. But that's okay. I already see through Finn's BS.
I'll step out on a limb and say that I told my story about my accomplice / brother, and Dorzaphir, you opened up about the same?
Yeah, it was my brother. That was the whole case. My brother actually died in the dragon attack because we were supposed to do a job and I wasn't there, and he was. It's a big long backstory, but I wasn't there. He went on and done it, kind of like your story a little bit, but he went on and was going to do it by himself, and I showed up and it already had happened.
Yeah, I was gonna say our characters and our backstories are very similar, so I feel like we would connect immediately if one of us told a story.
Oh, we connected in the bar, buddy. That's why I bought you a nail and set it on the table.
The gods have made it so.
All right. Well, heading back to Phandalin.
And I have a quick housekeeping item.
Oh, sure.
So in the party treasure loot, it still shows the equipment that we got from the goblin attack. I believe we sold all that, and we have some number of gold, copper, silver pieces that we have just as a pool within the party.
Let me double check what I have in my records. I
was going to say,
sounds.
Did we
right.
bring the cart back? Did we bring the cart back to the woman with
No, not yet.
We rented.
Yeah, we haven't done that yet.
You guys haven't done that yet.
Yeah.
But I want to think we had about like 100. Well, I had written in my notes. I don't know how updated it was. 172 gold, 34 silver, 54 copper.
I'm presuming that you guys had converted all of that, because that includes the coins you got and the value of everything.
So is there
our slush fund?
So can that treasure loot be just updated, or is that something that one of us can do, I guess, or how do you want us to keep track of? Because I think we just kept that as party loot that we were going to use when we needed the money for whatever.
Yeah.
Because I think we used it for some potions and stuff, but that 172 gold, that's what you had as the latest number?
Yeah, that was what I had at the end of the first
session.
Yeah.
And then I think Dorzaphir found someone found the 65 copper, 26 silver, and 14 gold from an orc, or from the orcs.
Yeah.
Maybe that was something that we. Okay. So all the equipment is gone, right? We sold all that, and all we have is money, correct?
Yep. I believe so.
And it was 10 gold a day. It was, I think she said was it 1 gold a day or 10 gold a day for the cart with the horse?
I think it was 2 gold a day, because you had to pay for feed. So it works out to be a total of 2 gold a day. Basically, it's 1 gold a day rent for the cart, and then you buy the feed up front, and it makes the whole cost 2 gold a day.
Okay. So it wasn't ridiculous.
Yeah.
We also got to go to the midwife with the mimic parts.
Yep.
And on the basis of that conversation, Finn has an idea that he doesn't need the other players for it, but there is a little thing Finn is trying to do with the social system.
Okay.
Of the city.
So, as a party, do we want to go take care of the things over at the
Miner supply
exchange?
I need my money.
If we're on housekeeping, can I backtrack and buy 2 healers kits from the shop owner that we just visited?
2 healers kits,
or 1 if that's all there is.
Yeah, you can buy 2. They're 5 gold each.
I will do so.
It'll set you back 10 gold.
Sounds good.
Okay.
And Abinadom, I think I have 2 potions of healing already as well. Just FYI, to let you guys know.
Okay.
So I updated the loot on Roll20.
Okay. Great. And so you all leave from the Barthen's Provisions over here, make your way past the Stonehill Inn, make your way past the Lion Shield Coster, and head over here to the Phandalin Miners Exchange. And you walk in, and Halia is there, and she says, "Oh, it's good to see you. You're done with the cart then.
DM question, real quick.
Sure.
From the other provisioner, he's giving us a cart to take the supplies, or do we still need this?
Yes, he has a cart that you will use to take the supplies.
Okay,
So
then.
you'll get that cart from him when you're ready to go.
Okay.
So that you're not wandering around town with 2 carts, basically.
We rich gents.
Yeah.
Okay, so she will give you 50 gold each for dealing with the dwarves, and will write out receipts for you. And while she's doing that, she will tell you, now there's a mine a few miles northeast of the town. It's called the Mountain's Toe Gold Mine, and that's a little bit of a tongue twister name, so I'm going to put that in Discord for everybody. Let's see, so that will be the Mountain's Toe Gold Mine. There's a new overseer there. His name is Don John Raskin, and he just made the trip from Neverwinter to Phandalin, and he is staying at the inn, and he needs to be escorted to the mine. No telling what dangers lie between here and there, so once you deliver Raskin safe and sound, return to me, and I'll give you each 100 gold.
No way we can do both of these at the same time, gents.
Nope.
Wait a minute. You said 100 gold apiece, right?
Yep.
Yes.
That's a quarter of the trip for the same price, boys. I think we should reconsider.
I didn't say we wouldn't do it. I just said we can't do them at the same time.
Was there a time frame on the escort up north?
Well, he's the new overseer, and so probably he wants to get there sooner rather than later. Go ahead.
How much was the other one? How much were we getting paid for the other service?
100 gold
100.
each.
Same price.
Oh, it's the same price. Okay.
Yep. And while you all are there talking to Halia, the door bursts open, and the town master himself, Harbin Wester, comes running in. He's puffing and blowing. He's red-faced. Looks like he's run all the way from his house. And he says, I've got horrible news. A rider just arrived in town. Says orcs have attacked the Butterskull Ranch. That's 5 miles east of Coneyberry along the Tribor Trail. You must go in haste, assess the damage, and help any way you can. The ranch owner is Alphonse Calazorn, and he's a retired sheriff who can reward you for your efforts. If he's alive, bring him back here to me. And if he's dead, return to me with proof of his demise. Either way, I'll give you each 100 gold.
How far away is this Butterskull Ranch?
Okay, let's go to the map of the region. And we will... So, we know that the loggers camp is here. And the gold mine... the gold mine is going to be here.
Could you repeat that one more time?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's right here.
Okay.
And then the Butterskull Ranch is going to be over. Whoops. Sorry. It's going to be over here beyond Coneyberry.
That's where the sheriff is at.
Jeez,
So,
way over there.
yeah. So.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, friends, if I know anything, sheriffs are quick to act. I'd say he's either already beat them back or he's dead already. I think that's a waste of our time.
Not if we know about it.
Well, we could.
We go out that way, that river runs. We're going to be going upstream towards our main objective. It'll take days. That or through the forest, either way. It's not good for us.
We won't be taking the cart with us if we're running to Butterskull Ranch.
That's what I'm saying. We'll have to go through the forest entirely or upstream.
Okay, actually, you don't need to because you guys are here.
That'll be
That's
downstream, actually, won't it?
And this is not a river. This is a road. So this dotted line here is a road, Tribor Trail. It's just not as big as the main high road. So to get to the ranch, you would go up the road from Phandalin to the Tribor Trail, and then up the Tribor Trail past Coneyberry there. To get to the Mountain's Toe gold mine, you would go this way. Now, if you wanted to go to the ranch, you could very well take the overseer to the mine on the way to the ranch and then come back. And if you wanted to try to do all of that stuff in one trip, you would take the cart and then bring the cart back and go here. Although if that sheriff is injured, you'd probably want to bring him back to Phandalin on the way. So you may want to leave the cart here until you're actually ready to go to the loggers camp.
Do we, as a regular person, if we were to go to say here, I can't make it work. Anyway, the first objective, the mine, drop off the said guy, then go to the ranch. Whether he's dead or alive, go north up to the river, saw off the wheels on the wagon, let it float downriver. How a wagon going down a river without wheels, is that a thing?
Yeah, probably not because it's not watertight. You would have to spend a significant amount of effort to put enough pitch and do enough things on it to make it watertight. And then unless you are careful about disassembling the wheels from the wagon and carrying those with you, then once you got out of the river and were ready to come back on the road, you just have like a busted wagon.
You said there were trails though from here. Yeah, so we wouldn't need to saw wheels.
Well, what I'm saying is if we go to the mine and then go to the camp, that's one thing. But if we're trying to get in the ranch, the quick way would be to go downriver, downstream.
Well,
going through the forest.
Oh, like up here and down. Oh.
Right. But if that's not a thing, we got a wagon with us, so if it can't float downriver without wheels, I'm kind of screwed anyway.
The thing is, though, they're needing us at the ranch immediately, not 2 or 3 days later.
You think we just tread out there and come back for the other two?
I say we do this and then on the way, unless we can get Harbin to pay us more.
Also, keep in mind, to the trail to the Butterskull Ranch, there's still the dragon sightings as well.
You could also split up. Yeah, she's right about that.
Split up's never a good idea.
Never split the party.
Split the party.
No.
The dragon was sighted on that road. I think we cut off the sheriff. Like I said, if I know anything, they're quick to act. Either he's dead or he's successful. Either way, he doesn't need us.
But we could question the orcs. Remember, there was toutings that the dragon is within orc camp.
But we have 200 gold a pop right here on the straight line. Quick, easy money. Do we want to bother ourselves with that? That's way out of the way.
Well,
We need him to know where the orcs are, bro.
Okay.
If we know where the orcs are, we know where the dragon might be.
Yeah.
I mean, like she said, the dragon was on this road. Dragons move. They don't stay in place. Anyone tells you where a dragon's at, that's not very helpful information.
Everybody give me an insight check, if you will. Let's do that. Okay, so Dorzaphir and Elle and Finn they all kind of get the sense that in Phandalin, the town master pretty much is the person that everybody looks up to as the authority, and he has asked specifically for adventurers to go to the ranch, see if the sheriff is alive, and if the sheriff is alive, to bring him back to Phandalin. And if he's not alive, to bring back proof of his demise. So in the, like the Maslow's hierarchy, you probably get the sense that both Halia and Barthen would probably say that if the town master needs you to do something, you should probably do that first before you do something for them. Now, with a gold mine, it is on the way to the ranch, so you could conceivably, since all you have to do is escort a guy, drop him off when you get there, and then keep going to the ranch, that would be a relatively easy thing. Of course, if there's not something at the gold mine that you have to deal with when you get there, it would make it a fairly quick and easy thing on the way.
What do you
Fellas,
expect?
let's just go straight for the ranch. Come back. We'll take the guy to the gold mine, then we'll go to the loggers camp. Easy way to sort it out. Because if the master of the town's asking us to go straight there, let's just go straight there, get it over with, and come back and run our other little errands, so to say.
Let's see if he can give us some horses.
That's also fair.
Also,
Yeah.
on Maslow's hierarchy, the basic needs are sometimes supplanted by the needs on the top of the pyramid, bro. And so
Finn.
the security need.
Couldn't have said it any better than myself. Just, yes.
I didn't know Maslow existed in this world.
Well, let's see if we can get some horses, and let's make ready.
Yeah, when they hear about the sheriff, you get a sense from Halia. There's kind of this intake of breath when she hears about Butterskull Ranch, and she says, "Oh, I certainly hope Big Al is okay." And she has a couple of horses that you all can use. She will make sure you have feed for the horses, and she won't even charge you extra for that. She knows of the old sheriff, and then by the time you guys get back to the inn to start sorting out and figuring out your plan, the news has traveled over there, and the innkeeper also knows Big Al, and he has some horses in the stable that you all can use to get out there and get back. And he even has a pack horse that you can use, and he certainly hopes that it doesn't come to bringing back the sheriff's body, but if the worst comes to worst, then you have an extra horse you can bring the sheriff back with.
And we owe Halia 30 gold. How much do we owe her for the horse and cart for the 3 days? Was it 10 a day?
No, it was 2 a day.
Oh, 2 a day. Okay, so all right. So I'll go ahead and just keep track of the party loot if that's okay with everybody.
Yeah, please.
I'll just keep track and pay and keep it all straight.
Okay.
All right, so I just paid Halia for the horse and cart.
Okay.
Did you not pay it out of our slush fund?
I did.
Yeah,
That
I'll
works.
go ahead and put 10 gold in the slush fund myself. Actually,
Oh no.
We have plenty. We have 180 gold.
We don't take our own money and put it in. It's just from the stuff we get from our adventures.
Yes, that were paid to the party.
I'm trying to earn my keep, boys. You gonna take my 10 gold or not?
I'll take
You
the
can
10
pay.
gold.
He'll take.
I got it.
My
I
10
got
gold.
it.
Thank you.
I got it.
Well, if he's putting 10 gold in, I'll put 10 gold in.
Okay, we're up to 200 gold. All right, I picked.
Right.
I think we
picked-
ride, fellas.
I picked the brown horse.
Well, if you want to get rid of that mimic stuff, you better do it. Anything that's perishable.
We already did.
Oh, did we? What did we do? With it?
Well, we gave him the tongue at the bar.
Well, the mimic skin. Can we dry it? I don't know.
If you guys have rooms at the inn, so if you want to say, oh, I set this up to dry while I'm gone, fine, it's set up to dry while you're gone.
Okay, so our mimic skin's
All right.
not gonna mold away. All right,
Yeah, I mean,
along with
Yeah,
the manticore
for-
elements, everything.
yeah,
Okay.
for stuff like that, you can just say, okay, I'm going to deal with it this way, and there might be some materials in a certain adventure, like if you were dealing with demon ichor that would dissolve away over a relatively short period of time. Well, then you might have to figure out something that would keep it from dissolving away. But for something like this, where you're just trying to dry out tissue, you pin it up on something and tell the innkeeper, don't mess with that in the drawer. It's stuff that I'll need when I get back, and they won't mess with it.
How long is this trip at a horse's sprint?
Okay, let us take a look here. If you're gonna go by the most expedient route, it's 50 miles to Coneyberry, and then it's another 5 or 10 miles out to the ranch, so that's 60 miles. And your okay, so travel pace. Okay. Oh, that's not the one I want. I need to go to the DMG. Where is travel in the DMG? It is.
These days they go about 30 miles per day.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I just wanted to make sure if we have okay, movement speed.
So we are going to the Butterskull Ranch before we go gold mine.
Yes.
Yeah, it's kind of an emergency, I guess.
Then after that, we'll be going to the loggers camp, or we'll be going back to town, then back to the loggers camp.
We'll come back.
Okay.
Yeah, we got to come back now. I got something very important to take care of for the Adventurers Guild.
Okay.
While we're waiting, who's the other person I see the heavy crossbow on?
I've got a light crossbow.
Can't hide a heavy crossbow. I heard someone say something about it.
Okay. Yes. 60 feet of movement is a horse. That's 6 miles per hour, and that's 48 miles per day of travel without risk of exhaustion due to forced march.
We're at 60 miles for the trip.
Good score.
Ooh.
48 miles. So basically you can get to Coneyberry in one day from Phandalin. And then on the morning of the second day, you can be out to the ranch.
Would it save us time to march after our horses get done the rest of the way, or no?
No. Not if you're going at that fast. You're not.
On top of that, shouldn't we estimate some time just instead of like if the horses get sidetracked or don't listen or anything like that? Is that implemented in times or no?
Yeah, travel. A day of travel presumes that you would stop occasionally to rest the horses, water the horses, have a meal for yourself, and then get back on and ride. Yeah, you probably ride a few hours, take a short break, ride another few hours, take a midday break for a meal, then ride a short time, take another break, and then ride the rest of the way.
Okay.
So I guess from when we get to Coneyberry, we just get up that morning and go straight to the ranch. Does that sound fair to everybody?
Yep.
That way we're not going in the dark.
Yep. I say we head out.
I think we should head out as soon as possible, no?
Let's go.
Okay.
And as we
after a while, we're going in now. When's day and night here?
We'll say that it basically took you most of the day to get all of your business done once you got back to town. So you probably would be setting out the following morning, because with the dragon around, even the town master, even though he's very concerned about the sheriff, he's not going to expect you to ride through the night to Coneyberry. So you would probably go the following morning.
Okay, well, it's 10:48, but Finn has a plan that involves talking to two people.
Okay. Well, then it looks like you have a night in Phandalin before you head out, so we can talk to a couple of people.
Okay.
And then we'll double check. Then we'll either end with anything else people want to do in town, or we'll pick up with anything else people want to do in town at the start of the next session. So
Okay, I can do it quick. I'll do it quick. Go in, look at the midwife.
Okay.
Go in to see the midwife. Ask the midwife how things are going.
Well, they're going fine. Of course, I worry about the mill. I'm glad I was able to bring some of my herbs so I can keep making some potions. How go things with you? Have you found any more about that dastardly dragon?
Lots of things going on. Lots of little rumors go here and there. We're about to check out one of them on the way to the ranch.
Oh, okay.
But you got anything going on? I mean, You know, in all the stories, there's a few type of people that tends to happen to it. You know, there's the kings, there's maybe some certain heroes, there's maybe a beggar, but there's also the midwife. So I thought I'd call on you here and see if anything's going on with you these days.
Other than being chased out of my home by that manticore, no.
Yeah, so you're feeling safe and secure, and you're taking care of your regular duties. Nothing's going on here.
Nothing untoward that I can tell. Why do you think I might be in danger?
Well, you know, the midwife often is the one with the destiny. Just keep an eye open for me, will you?
Oh, sir, they told me you were an entertainer. Do you read the omens? Are you a fortune teller?
I'm an entertainer, but everybody who knows. Look, the stories are about the midwives. A lot of times. It's like the innkeeper is part of the story, but sometimes the story centers around the midwife. All I'm saying is keep your eyes open.
Oh, well, I will. And I feel safe knowing there's a whole guild of adventurers looking after me. Oh, thank you, Finn.
Okay, have a nice day. Finn is smiling a little bit wickedly now as he turns and goes out to the door. That's step 1. Step 2, innkeeper.
Okay. All right.
Hey, bro, you got a minute?
Oh, yes, Finn, for you. Of course.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about something, bro.
Yes, what?
You know those 25 gold pieces you had to give us extra? You remember that?
Yes.
Well, you know, I want you and me to be good business partners. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if there's one thing that the Adventurers Guild needs, it's a good, tight relationship with the innkeeper.
Oh.
Because that's where an adventurer goes.
Well, yes. And I think we are good business partners. I mean, your songs bring a lot of business in. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. It's too bad we didn't have the time for it tonight. Then I got some things in the works for you, and we got something going on.
Oh,
but
I heard the townmaster is so concerned about the sheriff. Oh, I certainly hope Big Al is okay.
So, but I want you and me to be buddies. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yes. I think.
So here's the thing. How'd you like to make a... Look, I don't know how you knew about that manticore or if you didn't know about the manticore, but a man like you's got to keep his secrets if he's got them. You know what I'm saying? But I knew something was up. I want to make a wager with you.
Make a wager? I'm intrigued by your talk of a wager, but I assure you, I didn't know anything about the manticore.
Okay. But I think I know something.
Oh, what do you know?
We're doing this as buddies, right?
Yes.
I want
you can make an insight check.
This is kind of twisted, but this is kind of fun.
Okay.
What I want for you to do is I want to make a win-win situation for you.
Oh.
You're a single guy, right?
No.
No.
His wife is his wife is here, and in fact his wife is the one that baked the cookies.
Oh, I might be in the wrong scene. Who is the one that sent him for the midwife?
That was the innkeeper, yeah.
Yeah. that was
Oh
him.
gosh, he's sweet on somebody that's on his wife. I didn't put that together.
I just want to say I kind of tailed Finn without him seeing me. I just wanted to eavesdrop on his conversation.
Okay, that's his wife, but Finn knew that, but Vernon didn't know that. Okay, but Vernon actually forgot that. Is what happened there. So that's screwed up. That whole thing's screwed up. We can't do anything from here because I screwed it up.
Okay.
Just sing a song to yourself.
Delete. Huh?
Just sing a song to yourself.
Oh, yeah.
I send Finn a message to pull out my little piece of copper wire. Abort, Finn. You can reply to this message. That way, it just keeps it canonically. Just keep something like, because I was eavesdropping and you didn't realize, and I just go, abort. You can reply to this message.
Yeah, no, It's like if Vernon had realized that, I don't know, it's screwed up. Delete.
Okay.
Retcon.
Delete this part of the thing. Yeah, just delete this part of the thing because there's like too many people to keep track of.
Okay.
I'm not going to try to roleplay that out of it because that just.
No, it was
Okay.
a dream. You fell asleep. It was a dream. You just dreamt all that.
They did an entire season, and when your wife woke up, they found you in the shower instead of having been shot.
Okay, who shot
What?
JR?
Yeah.
I thought that it was we were all in a snow globe
There you go.
because more people exist in that universe than we could possibly imagine.
Yeah.
You woke up and found out you were on a reality show.
Wait a minute, isn't that basically what this is? It is now.
All right. We have a couple of minutes left. Anybody else want to do anything here in town before we wrap up the session?
I want to visit the midwife to talk to her about if she knows anything about mimic skin, but we can do that in another time.
Okay. All right.
I'm good. Dorzaphir's just going to sit down at the bar and just sit there and just watch people like he does every night before he goes up to his room.
Okay. Well, yes, there's a buzz of conversation in the inn that evening with people concerned. The news about the former sheriff has filtered through, so people are talking worriedly about, and they're cursing about orcs, and kind of some of them shaking their fist, and some of the old graybeards are like, if I was 40 years younger, I'd be out there and I'd give them a piece of my mind.
I just sit back, drink my ale, and laugh.
All right, everyone. Thank you guys for coming out and playing this evening. Chris and Ivy, thank you so much for
But I don't
coming
want
out
it to end yet.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, a lot of us have to get up and go to work in the morning. So, or I should say, I have to get up and go to work in the morning, and so I have to cut it off at 11. All right, everyone. Thank you guys. Fun session tonight, and Turbo and Low. Thank you guys for hanging out on the Twitch tonight. We will be back next Thursday at 8 p.m. and we will do this all over again, except hopefully next time we'll get in a few combats and have some more dice rolling than we did tonight. But good RP sessions tonight, so that was very nice. All right, everyone, take care. Have a great evening. And after I stop the stream, players, I do need to let you guys know about some scheduling stuff coming up. All right, good night, everybody.
Night.